Doc Loves the Kids, a local Kitsap County nonprofit organization established in 2015, whose mission is to provide activities, programs, and community support for at-risk youth.
They put the U in community.
Doc Loves the Kids.
Welcome to Uncommon Courtesy,
where we give you the courtesy of conversation
that's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for everybody that views us. Thanks for everybody that leaves nasty, crazy comments. One day I'm going to have some time for you and respond back. Don't forget to catch us every Friday at 7 p.m. on the Friday Fix and every Sunday here at the Sunday Town Hall. That's at 1 p.m. Pacific time. Senior Wesley, welcome back to America. We are very happy to have you here.
Hey, man, it's America. We got a lot of situations going on right now, but there's nothing like, that kind of gets you like a little bit of infighting. You know what I'm saying? No one thought that this administration, at least we didn't figure it would happen so quickly, this administration would get into infighting. But it says Marco Rubio unleashes his fury on Elon Musk in a heated cabinet meeting, report says. Secretary of State Marco Rubio launched into a heated argument with Elon Musk during the cabinet meeting, according to a new report. Elon Musk went back and forth on Thursday in front of President Donald Trump and nearly 24 others, the New York Times reported. Rubio has been privately furious at Musk for weeks over his role in dismantling USAID, which the secretary believed had been under his control, according to the Times. The conflict began when Musk accused Rubio of not firing State Department workers despite mandates from the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Rubio reportedly shot back, pointing out that 1,500 State Department employees had taken early buyouts, which should be tallied as a reduction in the workforce. He then sarcastically asked Musk if he should rehire those employees just so they could be fired again, mocking DOGE's stumble in firing workers they had to rehire soon after because of bad decisions. Then Musk accused Rubio of being just good on TV, the Times reported. The argument stretched on for an uncomfortable time before Trump finally intervened. Trump, after silently watching the exchange, said Rubio is doing a great job, and he said he has a lot to deal with, according to the Times. He added that everyone needs to work together. Appearing to recognize some of the growing anger with Musk, Trump reduced some of Musk's power at the meeting. The president made it clear that while he supports Musk's work, he has also noted that only the cabinet members would be in charge of any firings, and the billionaire's team would only advise, the Times reported.
Good.
Yeah.
Think about it. Like, they went to go sell off some of the CIA buildings, right? And they actually gave up secret locations. You know what I'm saying? The CIA secret locations. Think about it. They're firing so many people that they're having to think about it. You get fired on a Friday or on a Saturday in an email that comes at like 9 o'clock in the morning when you're asleep. And then they call you back on Tuesday like, hey, aren't you the nuclear guy? We're going to need you back, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, aren't you from the EPA? Sorry, we knew you were keeping the water. We're going to need you to come back. Hell, you don't run me, bitch. Excuse my language, but I'm just saying. I couldn't imagine. You're not going to fire me and then tell me I need to come back to work. Like, I don't need to do nothing.
I think this infighting right here is really like important to kind of watch because I feel like when you look at it, Marco Rubio is probably, it's hard to even say this, but he might be one of the only like people who believe in the actual, rule of law, the American way, things of that nature. I don't know. Let's see. I don't want to give him too much of honor right now because you never know how he might turn out. But you looked at him. He looked really super uncomfortable during that Ukraine meeting with Zelensky when they were talking about, hey, don't you got a suit and all these other jokes they're making about a person whose country is at war, who's lost hundreds of thousands of lives, who's lost children, all kinds of stuff. And so he kind of looked like he was doing the Homer Simpson's slinking into
the bushes.
Yeah, he kind of looked like he was doing that in the chair. And then again, you look at it from the perspective of when Donald Trump talked about Marco Rubio during the State of the Union address. He pointed out Marco Rubio. He said he's doing a great job. He said, I was really happy to see that everyone in the Senate voted to confirm Marco Rubio. He got 100 votes out of 100. He was like, I don't know if I should be happy or if I should be worried about that. You know what I mean? And Marco Rubio's face kind of went flush. You could see his cheeks kind of like rosy and, like kind of like he was embarrassed, like might be something. But when I look at this, I mean, for him to have the gall to stand up to Elon Musk speaks volumes.
Most of those people, Marco Rubio, at the end of the day, he's an established Republican, right?
Yeah.
But see, they brought this up at the beginning of Trump's administration. They're like, a lot of Republicans are going to have to look at what their life's going to be like after Trump passes away. Because, you know, he's going to stay in there for as long as he wants to. But like, what is your political life going to be like after him? You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to do so much damage. Are you going to be around? Are you going to okay it so you can fall with him when it's over? You know what I'm saying? And Marco Rubio, he probably believes in the Constitution. He was supposed to, remember, he was up for vice president, but they gave it to J.D. Vance. You know what I'm saying? Marco Rubio still got something in the cabinet, but, you know, you're looking at Elon Musk. You're just like, bro, you're an idiot. Like, Elon's never invented anything, bro. He just bought into companies. He bought into Tesla. He bought into SpaceX. You know what I'm saying? I remember the first time they whipped out the Cybertruck or whatever, right? He was like, oh, these windows are bulletproof. Took a rock and threw at it, and the rock smashed through the window.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
You remember that?
Yeah, I mean, it just like, and with this situation, it's like you're watching like kind of like his whole entire, the mantra of who Elon Musk is kind of like erode away.
Yeah. Like
little by little. Like, because before, you know, he gave Elon unlimited power to do what he wanted to do. But now he's watching how this is playing out as a debacle, as Elon's firing people, hiring people, lying about how much money he's finding. Oh, this is fraud. This is waste. This is abuse. There's a mice that was, they're doing it for a transgender mice, and it's like transgenetic or something like that. Something that has to do with like learning how human cells interact with how human cells can fight viruses within a mice. Not saying that he's, you know what I mean? He's just making up lies and feeding them to Trump. And then Trump's looking dumb having to defend this stuff. That's why he's bringing them. I'm starting to see a little bit, maybe a little bit more clear. The reason why he brought you in front of these people so you can answer the questions yourself. Yeah. I'm having to answer for your dumb mistakes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For what you're doing.
Because you're firing the wrong people. You're like, yo, those are his voters that are getting fired. These are the important jobs. People don't understand, oh, you need to make government smaller. Then you start realizing what these people actually do in the government, and they keep you safe. They keep your water clean. They keep your skies clean. You know what I'm saying? They keep everything safe around you because we're naturally stupid people, and we can't take care of ourselves. And so Elon Musk, he thought he could do it like Twitter, right? Twitter don't even run right. I ain't been able to change my profile picture for the last 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, to me, when I'm looking at what he's doing, like the job that he's actually doing there, he hasn't found any waste. He's just making a debacle of the department. And I think that's what Donald Trump is kind of starting to see. He's having to deal with way too much BS over letting this billionaire pretty much buy him. And everyone knows it. Everyone sees that he's bought. This isn't, you already have cases against you. When we're looking at Russia, now you got a case against you. We're looking at this guy right here. I mean, everything is kind of like sticking to you right now, Trump. I think he's looking for someone to scapegoat and say it's their fault. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of. I remember
I told you that's what was going to happen, right? I was like, look, he hired all these people around him, so when things start going wrong, he can fire them. Mm-hmm. You know, and Elon's probably going to be the first one to go because everything. Elon's he may be smart, but he's not intelligent. Mm-hmm. Oh, excuse me, he may be intelligent, but he ain't smart. Like, anyway, he thought he could just go through all these governments and just fire everybody because he doesn't know how America works because he's not from America.
Yeah, I mean, he says never ran a country. You can't just go. I mean, the point of it is, okay, yeah, you don't care about clean water. You don't care about these things because you already have all these things set up for yourself. The rest of the country, we don't. We don't have someone to make sure that the food is checked out before it gets to us. We don't have that. That's the government's job. So they normally do it. Now you're firing people in departments. They're like, and you're making sure they can't spend any money. So they're like, oh man, I can't even buy any tests. So it's going to be a lot less tests being tested. Our food's going to be not tested as well. But you're touting yourself as a president who's pushing the health agenda with RFK Jr. And you're leaving your departments, your FDA and your food departments without testing material to test basic meats and things like that your people are eating. Yeah. So what's going on here? I think that I'm happy to see Marco Rubio actually stood up to Elon Musk and actually had something to say. And he had a good quip for him because you remember when Trump was like, whoever doesn't like Elon, they can leave. Yeah. And this was a very good, this was like, okay, somebody needed to say something and someone finally did. Yeah,
they need to because Elon, he's an idiot. He's going to make Trump look worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, we can save all this money. And he didn't do nothing. He just made him look worse. He's like, yo, these are Republican voters. They're like, bro, I voted for you. I lost my job. People are having town halls like, look, you're cutting funding to all this stuff
to the VA. We need. I mean, he's cutting funding to the VA. I do know that like a lot of government workers are ex military. A lot of them was.
That's what sparked it all too. Is when he cut 70,000 jobs to the Veterans Affairs, and that's where it was. That's when they were like, yo, bro, you're tripping.
And then they started looking at it like, you know what? A lot of these people who you're firing just in the government in general were once vets because it's a lot easier for a vet to go into the government and get a job because they've already worked in government. They are more than happy to want to hire their own people.
And then they're seeing what he's doing because in a lot of the departments he's firing, he's weakening them so he can go in there and put his companies in there and get those get the money for it.
Get the contracts. He's FAA. That's on NASA. I mean, these are different things that he's already invested in. He's definitely doing that. Yeah. So